Anyone who has ever tried to slow down the visible signs of skin aging knows the unique frustration of the supplement aisle. You stare at rows of beautifully packaged bottles, promising to restore elasticity and erase fine lines, completely guessing at what, if anything, actually works. Many people buy a random tub of power, take it for a few weeks, see no changes in the mirror, and conclude the science is a scam. This happens because the clinical requirements for skin repair are often missing from commercial products. When we look at the macro-level data, the efficacy is clear. A meta-analysis of 19 randomized, double-blind, controlled trials tracking over 1,100 participants confirms that oral collagen supplementation improves skin hydration, elasticity, and wrinkle appearance. These results depend on two highly specific bioactive dipeptides. These molecules act as the specific signals the body requires to begin repairing the dermal layer. By following this scientific protocol, you can stop spending money on marketing hype and execute a measurable 90-day recovery starting tomorrow morning. To see how this works, we have to go down to the microscopic level. Standard collagen molecules are too large for the body to absorb directly. They must be broken down, or hydrolyzed, into tiny fragments first. Two fragments drive this process: prolyl hydroxyproline and hydroxyprolyl glycine. We call them prohype and hype-gly. These pairs survive the acidic environment of the stomach and enter the peripheral blood intact, where they initiate three distinct repair mechanisms. The first mechanism is chemotaxis. The dipeptides act as molecular distress beacons. As they travel through the dermal layer, they physically attract fibroblasts, the cells responsible for building skin structure, pulling them exactly to the areas where repair is needed most. The second mechanism is cell proliferation. Once the fibroblasts arrive at the target site, the dipeptides signal them to multiply. This localized burst of cell division physically rebuilds the firmness of the skin from the inside out. The third mechanism is moisture generation. The prohype molecule specifically stimulates these fibroblasts to produce hyaluronic acid, which draws in and locks down surrounding water. These peptides function as an active signaling system. They command the body to repair its own structural matrix, rather than just providing raw building blocks. If the biological pathway is mapped and proven, why do so many commercial collagen supplements fail to reduce wrinkles? This comparative bar chart shows the clinical difference between high-content collagen peptides, labeled as HCP, and low-content peptides. The results are heavily weighted in favor of the high-content dosage. It comes down to volume. Without high concentrations of prohype and hype-gly, physiological signals aren't loud enough to trigger fibroblast action. When you reach that high concentration threshold, the R2 parameter, measuring skin recoil and elasticity, shows a steep upward trajectory, while surface roughness simultaneously decreases. Low-concentration collagen fails to cross the minimum biological threshold required to visibly change the skin, making it an ineffective investment. To see results, we have to ground our expectations in biology. Remodeling the dermal layer requires structural growth, which takes time. This timeline graph tracks the clinical milestones of skin regeneration. During the early phase, between 4 to 8 weeks of daily ingestion, the first signs of deep hydration emerge, followed by a smoothing of surface texture. The optimal results occur exactly at the 90-day mark. This is the timeline required to achieve peak wrinkle depth reduction and full elasticity recovery. Step 1 for your own protocol: always read the label. Ensure the product is hydrolyzed collagen with high concentrations of prohype and hype-gly. Steps 2 and 3: take it every day and commit to the full 90-day timeline. Systemic blood tests during trials reported 0 adverse events, confirming its safety. Visible skin improvement is a predictable biological response. By optimizing your intake, you can achieve measurable changes starting today.